that God has given us, where in the midst of the pandemic or in the midst of the problem, trials, we still have the opportunity to come and worship Him. And so it's a great privilege for us. I will not read the passage again, but this afternoon I want to caption my topic as Jesus Christ, the master of the tempest, which means He is the master over the nature, over the universe. And as we see here in Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41, we can see even in Matthew chapter 8 and Luke chapter 8, in all the three Gospels, we can find this narrative or this incident. And so, as a human being, sometimes we face some situation where we are afraid, right? You see, is there any situation where you feel that you got scared, you are so much afraid? Last Wednesday, we went out, one of our Korean friend, through one church, the sponsor, and then they invite the families to go to Lotte Tower, this Lotte World. And we went there and then play some those games. And one of this one was this roller coaster, right? It just, and it was so scary, okay? Because that was the first time, and when you go up, it was just smooth and nothing. And when you roll down, it's very scary. And then it will just go up, and then you just look and then turn around. And it was so scary. I was so scared. Okay, but my son and my daughter, they were laughing. You see? Yeah, because they knew that we are with them. You see, they totally trust us. That our parents are there, so nothing will happen. You see, and I was so scared, about the roller coaster. I was thinking, if the wheel come out, and then all of a sudden the machine fail, and then if all those like parents and young boys and young girls, all of us, if any incident happen, what will happen? I was thinking as we were this rolling around. But my children were just laughing. They were enjoying. They really trust. That the children really trust their parents. They think that nothing will happen as long as their parents are there. But sometimes, as I say it, sometimes we feel such kind of situation. We face such kind of circumstances where we are scared, where we are afraid. And in the midst of that storm, in the midst of that trials, in the midst of that persecution, in the midst of that punishment or suffering that you and I go through as Christians, as disciples of Jesus Christ, Jesus is always with us. See, Jesus is always with us. And so here in the Gospel of Mark chapter 4, we see that like when Jesus walked on water, He sent His disciples ahead. He did not go with them. But here, when Jesus calmed or rebuked the wind and wave to stop, now Jesus was with them. See, and so He said that let us go to the other side. Let us go to the other side. Now remember that Jesus is always with us. That is what He promised, that till the end, I will be with you. And so, especially this Sea of Galilee, is susceptible to wind and storm. And we see that among the disciples, 4 of them were fishermen. And so they were expert. They usually fish in the Sea of Galilee, and then they are well expert of the situation of the Sea of Galilee. But at this juncture, when the storm hit the boat, they were so scared. You see, they've experienced those storms definitely, but they were so scared at this time. And so here the lesson that we learn is that the lesson that we learn, the spiritual lesson that we learn is that our life, sometimes we don't sail smoothly. No, life is not a bed of roses. You don't always have a smooth life. You don't always have a time of enjoyment. Sometimes, sickness come and hits you. Sometimes a storm come and hits you. Sometimes persecution. Sometimes you lose loved ones. And then, sometimes you are shaken. No, we are susceptible. No, Christian life is susceptible to wind and pressure and storm. And at times we feel so scared. No, and at times we are so much afraid, thinking that we are alone. Thinking that we are fighting the battle alone. But one thing that we forget is that we are not alone. See, we are not alone. Because the battle is not ours. No, the battle is God. And so here Jesus told them that, let us cross to the other side. And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. And other boats were with him, and a great storm. So they were sailing smoothly, okay? Maybe they were enjoying, maybe they were singing songs, maybe clapping hands, and then they were sailing. And Jesus, maybe went to one of the corner and then took below, and then he was taking rest. He was sleeping. And all of a sudden, as they were maybe rejoicing, or as they were talking, chatting, all of a sudden, without any warning, the storm came and hit the boat. You see, hit the boat. I can imagine how the disciples struggle. I can see them that taking maybe a vessel and then trying to throw the water out from the boat, right? Because the water was coming. You see, they tried their best. I believe that they tried their best to control the boat. But nobody can control. No, we ourselves cannot control our life. It's in the hands of God. It's in the hands of God. And so they were trying their best, controlling. They were trying their best to stop the wind, maybe. And they were throwing out the water out of the boat. Because if the water filled the boat, they will definitely sink. And so maybe some of them were praying now, Lord, save us. So in their heart, maybe they will be praying. Some of them were working, trying to draw the water out. Nothing happened. The storm did not stop. It continues. It continues. And then what happened? And then verse 38. But he was in the stern, asleep on the pillow. Jesus was taking rest. Now, if they sink and die, definitely even Jesus also will die together with them. But of course, the time that God has appointed for Jesus to die is not yet come. And so it will not happen. It will not happen. And so Jesus said, let us go together. Now, you see, Jesus performed so many miracles. If you read Mark chapter 4 and 3, the disciples have witnessed the miracle that Jesus had done. The wonderful works that Jesus had done. And still then, even at this juncture, the disciples are yet to recognize that Jesus is the Lord over everything. Their life, He is the Lord over the sickness. He is the Lord over the nature. He is the Lord over the disease. He is the Lord over any disability. But still then they forgot, right? Still then they did not remember. And when Jesus rebuked the storm, and then the storm calmed down, they opened their mouth and, who is this man that even the wind and storm obey His word? See, a few hours back, they have witnessed so many miracles. Still then they don't believe, right? Still then they don't trust that Jesus was with them. See, He will not, God will never leave us alone. That's why He said, I will never leave you alone. Because He said, let us go together. You see, do you think that Jesus does not know that this storm will come and hit their boat. He knew that. That's why he said, let us go together. I will not let you face the storm, face the situation, face the temptation, face the trials, face the persecution. I will not let you alone face those things. Let us face together. I'm with you. Let us go together. We sacrifice, we give up everything, and then we go. See? Why? Because we know that Jesus is with us. And so we don't think about the worldly pleasure, the worldly things. Because Jesus is everything to us. He is everything to me. And so he said, let us go together. And they were going, and then the storm came and hit them. And then what happened? Maybe after trying their best, now they went and woke up Jesus. And then they tell him in verse 38, Teacher, don't you care that we are perishing? Now here, you know what? They are blaming Jesus. No, they are accusing Jesus that, why don't you care for us? No, sometimes as a Christian, we blame God. I pray, I go to church, I give offering, I'm a good Christian, and why I'm suffering? See, why you are hiding your face from me? Sometimes we accuse God, right? We accuse God, thinking that He does not care for us, without realizing that He is with us. But we try to shift the blame on God. No? But here Jesus said that, where is your faith? You see, where is your faith? We lack faith, our faith in God. And so that's why we fail. That's why sometimes the temptation overcomes us. And so they came and asked Jesus, Lord, why don't you care for us? Do you think Jesus does not care for His disciples? No, He cared for them. See, He cared for them. But now they're accusing Him. They're accusing Him. That why don't you help me? Why don't you rescue me? Why don't you heal me? Why don't you deliver me? Why don't you provide me? Why? Why I need to face the battle alone? Why I need to face the circumstances alone? Where are you, Lord? Don't you care for me? At times we cried out. At times we make such kind of statement that God does not care for us. But we know that Jesus is there. And so verse 39, and He awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Of course, the disciples cried out to God for help. See, because they cannot do anything now. They cannot handle the situation. They cannot handle the circumstances. And so the only hope is that they have to call upon God to rescue them, to deliver them, see, to provide them. Our only hope is God. See, our only hope is God. Amen. Only God can deliver us. Only God can rescue us. Only God can provide us. Only God can heal us. Amen. There is no one. See, there is no one. As I say, they might have tried their best in order to rescue the boat from the storm, but they could not. See, they could not. And so they cried out to God, and then Jesus woke up and then just rescue them from perishing. He rebuked the wind. He rebuked the storm. He rebuked the sea, and then the sea calmed down. You see. And then the storm stands still, very calm, as if there was nothing. You see, as if there was nothing. When the storm hit you, call upon God. Call upon God. He will protect you. He will deliver you. He will calm the storm of your life that you face, that you and I face. When you face such kind of situation, when you are afraid, when you are scared, Call upon Him. That's what He told Jeremiah. He said, call unto me, and I will show you great and wondrous things. Call upon me, and I will show you. You see, I will show you wondrous things, marvelous things, miraculous things that I will perform in your life, where people will be amazed when God does miracle, or when God performs miracle in our life. And so he rebuked the wind, the storm, and then the storm ceased, and the wind and the sea become calm. And so verse 40, and he said to them, why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith? You see, why you are afraid? Of course, the disciples have as a human being, they're also afraid maybe to die, afraid of maybe sickness, afraid of persecution. I know as a Christian we're afraid of this corona, right? We're all afraid of this corona, this sickness. As a human being, we are afraid. But when we are afraid, call upon Him. Call unto Jesus, and He will protect, right? He will deliver. And so He said, where is your faith? See, why don't you trust me? Jesus is indirectly telling him, why don't you trust me? Why don't you put your faith on me? I am the master of the nature. I am the master of your life. I am the master of the universe. I am the master of the circumstances. Why don't you call me? No. Where is your faith? Why don't you trust me? And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey Him? Now, in chapter 3, as I said, many miracles were performed. And even at this time, they didn't know that Jesus is the Son of God. They didn't know that Jesus is the master of the nature. And then they were asking one another, who is this man? See, who is this fellow? He rebuked the wind. He rebuked the storm. And then even the nature obey Him. Even the nature obey Him. God is not bound. No? God is not bound by time and space. You see, He is omnipotent. He is omniscient. He is omnipresent. He can do. No, He can do. That is why the angel told Mary that nothing is impossible in the sight of God. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Your life, my life, your future, and my future is in His hand. And so tomorrow, Jesus is telling us that let us go and face tomorrow together. He told His disciples, let us go together. Let us cross over. And He's telling us, let us face tomorrow together. I will be with you. I will be with you. Don't be afraid. Trust me. Rely on me. Depend on me. And I will take care of your life. I will take care of your future. I will take care of their circumstances. And so if you go with Him, if you trust Him, if you depend on Him, if you rely on Him and go with Him, your life will be wonderful. Your life will be fruitful. Your ministry will be fruitful. And you will have a successful ministry and a successful life. And so here we see that the lesson that we learn from this incident or from this miracle that Jesus performed is that He always go with us wherever we go. We are not alone. Because He told His disciples that, I will go with you. Because Jesus knew that the storm will arise. The storm will come. And so He said, let us go and face together. And so, let us trust God. Let us rely and depend on Jesus and face tomorrow together with Him. So that He will guide us, He will lead us, and then we will reach the shore, the seashore smoothly. And then we as a Christian, we will be a fruitful and a Christian and a blessing, blessed Christian to others. When people look at us, when people see us, when they see the miracle that God works in our life, they will be amazed. They will wonder. And that thing will happen only when we fully trust in Jesus Christ. Amen. That will not happen until and unless we fully trust Him. See, until and unless we fully trust Him, that miracle will not happen. And so therefore, let us trust God with fully and rely and give our tomorrow, our plan, our program, our visions of tomorrow into His hand, so that all those plans, programs, and vision will be successful through His presence. So may God bless each one of us. Thank you, and God bless you.